Alright, man. Shalom, man. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, brothers.
Shalom. We're out here, man. The brother didn't want us to reason and chat, you know, so you can keep it up. Go on, you might as well.
Alright, shalom.
You're the most in the spirit,
We
right?
praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Governor us, the elder apostles, the great most honorable world, and shalom to hopeful elect, you know, brothers out there pushing this word necessary in treatment, shalom. Yeah, we're out here once again, you know, prophesying the downfall of Esau's system, his current rulership over the earth, and it's something where, you know, it's people who say prophecy, it's not even prophecy. We're in the midst of it being fulfilled. We see, you go and look at America, all your hair, like every day you check, you know, you crack open the news app, you crack open Twitter, you're seeing Trump's out here talking about a civilization is going to cease to exist. You know, this guy's typing messages saying a civilization is going to cease to exist. You know, that's the kind of maniac that's been set loose. And now it's as far as what is engaged in, it's all dealing with end-time prophecy. We were dealing with, you know, the prophecies talking about what happened in the time of the end. And that's really talking about a place called Babylon the Great, which is America. And that place called Babylon the Great is basically being taken out by thermonuclear destruction, man. Nuclear missiles, you know, strapping it, lacing it, and setting it afire. And that's really what we see being pushed forward. World War III, that's the term. You had earlier in the week a law clarifying that everyone that's over between the age of 18 and 35 in the States, they're basically going to be put onto the draft as soon as they turn 18. And I believe prior it was like you would have to register for the draft when you turn 18. If you didn't do it after like 30 days, then you know there'll be a way for them to chase you up. But I think with the new system, they just have you put on it. And the reason why that's being clarified is because now it's a time where that, you know, a draft is going to be.
That's the sign to the time.
Yeah.
Sign to the time, bro. I've got a quick scripture, bro. It's the 2nd Ezra 6 and 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Yeah, Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Now we're in the time of the end. That end of the world is being ruled by
Right here.
Esau. And that's why it's like, you know who's in power. Whenever you talk to what's this guy, man, vocab, you know, Esau ceased to exist.
Yeah.
Esau got taken out. Esau was, you know, he was around, but then it's just, you know, he just up and vanished.
But you know what cut the vocab anyways, because he's saying that, but then when this was going on with that war, what was letting not a real Jew saying? He's saying that these men are Amalek.
Yeah.
They even just came out recently and said the Iranians are Amalek. They throw that on everyone.
Yeah.
Now Iranians are Amalek. Bro, which one is it? So Amalek is Esau, so how can your theologians say Esau don't exist, cease to exist, but then you're throwing it on Ishmael, then you're throwing it on Amalek, Iran. It's like it's in the ephod. So Esau is real, and you're them.
Because why?
You're them, man.
Yeah, as far as...
And you too, Vocab. I'm sorry, brother. Vocab is German.
Yeah.
Apparently he's German. So he says he's Sicilian on his mom's side, but we don't believe he's got Ragu blood. He ain't got no Ragu blood. He's a German.
Mum said, you know, that says a lot.
He's a German, man. He's a SS. His dad was probably Gestapo. You know, like bastards.
He's acting like it now. He's in the spirit of that.
His dad was SS, man.
But it's the thing, like even now, like you said, Amalek is being a thing that's being pumped out, being perpetuated, and it, you know, they say it's a slur that's, you know, it's like a byword they place upon, you know, it's like saying someone's a C word or F or FB, you know. But the reality of the situation is that's through the spirit that's being said, that's being brought up. When you go to Numbers 24th chapter, that really is like a key end time prophecy that was set in motion, going back to the time of Moses, right?
Yep.
In the Torah.
Yeah.
Now, and then let's not forget, because there's a lot of there's a lot of there's a lot of false information going out. But the fact that the information is going out there shows you the time that we're in. Like you had Nathan Rothschild basically saying that prepare for the end or whatever the tweet was.
You know what? People were saying it's fake news, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you know what?
But it's the spirit. That's what I mean.
It's still pushed out.
It's certain spirit.
Come on, and they're putting it under his name.
And remember, even what does Nathan mean? Nathaniel. What does that word mean?
Oh yeah, okay.
Given by God, right? Given by God.
So the message is sent, right?
Yeah. So if you look at it from a spiritual perspective, these things ain't, like you said already, Esau is the end of the world.
It's the end of the world.
These things that are being presented are making it known unto the people. And like already you said it.
Even with Trump as well, the key thing with Trump's actions now is he's an embodiment of the spirit of this.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing that really has everyone, and the thing is him indulging in that spirit, that's got everyone turned now. You basically got to where a lot of these different European countries are looking like, yo, we need to be able to work outside of, receiving certain supplies from America. Certain countries that might have had America as a chief trade partner are then looking like, oh, okay, we need to deal with the EU. We're going to get closer to Russia, get closer to China. Because why? They're like, as far as for now, they're realizing this guy's a rat.
They want to ditch that dollar. They already started to do it.
Yeah, that's the thing is with because people realize as well, the dollar's already looking shaky. Because even with the oil situation as well, people are saying like, oh, America's going to supply blah. But then it's even with that, just with the Strait of Hormuz being closed, which is Trump's fault, that's already going to fuck everyone.
And it's funny because Trump's just talking to the wind. Like they're just completely ignoring him. Like, the guy and
remember saying like, oh yeah, because NATO needs to come through,
bro.
To open up the Strait of Hormuz. Then it's like, oh, we don't need you to open the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah.
Then like 2 days later, you're saying, well, look, guys, I'm leaving. Yeah. You guys can open it if you want it.
Then he's popping it at all the allies, like you mentioned, popping it to England, and Iran. It's all on deaf ears to them. They don't care. You remember the other day, the big news was there's going to be a ceasefire. Iran was like, didn't even mention nothing about a ceasefire. They don't care. It's on deaf ears.
We had talks.
They've said it already enough time.
Bro, can you believe the time we're in? We're in it's the end, but can you believe this? Like, Amalek is actually, remember Netanyahu, when he came out, he went, we must destroy Amalek, blot their name out. He said, no, imagine the time that we're in. You got these gutter rats. These gutter rats are actually popping it like that. Numbers, I got it right. So, Numbers 24 and 20. It says, and when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek.
No, you can read a few verses as well.
Okay. Numbers 24 from where should I read from? I read from 17?
Probably 16.
16, okay. Numbers 24 and 16 it says, he have said, which heard the words of the Lord and knew the knowledge of the Most High, which saw the vision of the Almighty, fallen into a trance, having his eyes open.
Well, it's funny, even the vision as well, because that's something where that's become a key factor as far as seeing the vision. Because that's as far as for us, the reason why we're doing the actions we do is we see the vision of the rulership of Yahweh, the kingdom of heaven, the destruction of America. These things now are becoming clear. But then those in the world, now it's even coming to them, to where they're thinking like, damn, they'll see things that Trump goes out and says, they're like, that, so like, yo, this will be the end of the world. These guys they don't even touch the Bible. They don't even they don't even believe. And then it's just because of the nature of the things happening. Then it's clear it's a different time.
Yeah.
You basically got like the development of AI, where it's impacted all other forms of technology, to where the cost of everything else is skyrocketing. If you want to get like a laptop, the price of those things have gone up just because of the general climate around everything. There's a lot of things being impacted to where you might have been able to be at ease, and kind of like during the Iraq War, you might have not really noticed the impact it will have on the financial thing. Yeah. But now it's like because of especially compounding, because it was the big one was C-19, the pandemic. When that hit, everything started going up. Then you had the Ukraine war, and that was at the price of bread, wheat, pasta, all those things, and then fertilizer as well went up. And that was the other thing they said with Strait of Hormuz being closed. Like they said, oh, the impact of fertilizer, like this liquid natural gas is utilizing that. And they said you're not even going to see that until like the next harvest.
Yeah.
So there's all these, and the thing is, it's all these things before they're all stacking to where.
Don't forget fertilizer. You say fertilizer.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. So all those things stacking together, people are thinking like, realizing like, yo, they go Tesco, the price of everything goes up. They go to the pump. They like to fill up the pump. That price keeps going up. All these things hitting them to let them know like, wow, there's something here. This all has to there's got to be some meaning to this.
One more thing.
Because you have to think, even Trump's been in like a year and change. Like he ain't even been. He's got 3 more years to go.
One more thing. Price of steak going up.
Yeah, that's it. The price of the brick going up. Man, just every
up.
meeting, just like the price of the brick going up. Just that's it.
Shit.
And that's all that's been happening.
It's all rising.
And it's like people at one point, the thing is people would kind of just get by in the day to day, and you can do your little holidays.
Yeah.
You can buy a little treat here, you can go out for dinner, you can do whatever.
And you have to remember, bro, as well, another thing on top of what you're saying, in general, do you remember when we had the 2008 home crisis?
Yeah,
Financial crisis. That was a big thing back then. It affected the system. Now, fast forward, obviously, you understand it more. Look at the price, house prices now. It's impossible to do anything, etc. But also, what's happened from then till now, what made me think is people's lifestyles got more expensive over time. Even today, now that's going to be lost. You're going to, because of all this height and that, people's going to lose shit. You know, because before, no one could just get Range Rovers and shit like that. Now you can get it on credit.
Yeah.
You can get a 40 grand car and you're paying like $2 grand a month for it or something.
It's funny.
It's like you didn't do that before.
Yeah, it's funny because that's that scripture as well. Victual shall be so good cheap that it may think that
Second
they're
of 1621.
Yeah. So basically, the reality of the situation is, hey, I just see a post on fashion concept on Insta where they're saying there's far too many J. Like art community.
Yeah.
Especially in London. One girl from Bronx told me that everyone here drives German cars, basically, some Beamers and Audis, and it's like, they're all getting on finance.
Everyone.
And they're paying 5 bills, 6 bills to lease that car.
Yep.
And it's an entry level, Beams or
and they'll never purchase it.
Yeah, they'll
It's an endless hole.
Yeah.
You know? It's funny because Amalek, they know the tricks to wealth, and you know one thing Amalek do? They always buy like third-hand cars. So they'll buy like a third-hand Volvo that will last them for ages.
What's that Toyota they fucking love, the Voyager or whatever?
Yeah, is it like the Cruiser or the Hummer?
Yeah, the fucking
So basically, that's how they
Shalom.
the point of the Shalom. Yeah, the point of what I'm saying is that the price of people's lifestyle is gone up. Yeah, the price of steak's gone up. And people's lifestyles got expensive.
And what they desire is more expensive as well.
Exactly what they desire.
And the thing is, well, it's tied to the vision, because I'll get back to it. But in the vision they had, there was a point in time they could see, oh, okay, if I work, if I do this, whatever, I'll be able to get that lifestyle.
Yeah.
Now they're seeing, oh, you're not going to be able to get a car, or a house, or have kids, or have a future. Those things are all basically now beyond the pale.
You know what's crazy about you saying that? I remember back in 2007, 2008, with a friend in the around time. Well, my brethren drew one girl, and he was chatting to her. She had a boyfriend, but he just started chatting to her. He didn't draw her, but he's chatting to her. And then she said, me and my boyfriend are coming to the conclusion that we're gonna rent forever. That was 07.
And you know what, bro? The funny thing is, even now, even the forecasters, the housing forecasters will tell you you're better off renting.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Like obviously, renting a house, renting a 2-bedroom apartment in cities is hard.
Yeah.
But you're actually better off fucking renting than actually a mortgage. It's not.
Right in the sticks.
Getting yourself into the system now is like impossible to clear it.
And that's by the agenda.
An agenda, bro.
You shall own nothing and be happy. Alright, that's the slogan.
Yeah. So it says, right? So it says, I shall see him, but not now. It says, I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab and destroy the children of Sheth.
Yeah, these basically have Yahushua when he makes his return. All these nations are gonna be put in subjection. This the thing is a recompense, because as far as that's the thing, even with Trump's pomp, you basically have that self-centered prideful approach really highlighting these guys really have things to pay for. These guys really are just like they got away with it. They're so self-assured. Because as far as with the thing with the American experiment as well, is for a period of time it was running smooth. But it's at any time you kind of you might watch a documentary that go into they might go into like some kind of innovation or whatnot, or some kind of technology or certain company. A lot of them you'll find around the 60s and 70s, that's when it started to take off. They said that up until that point, everything was legendary. And it really got like post World War II America, the generation that came just after, they achieved a level of abundance that no one else has really ever tasted since.
Well, that's funny because I just see a Fox News video notification said about NASA, the Artemis 2. They said like, oh, NASA's saying America is back. So that really shows you, and then scripture in Obadiah, where it tells you, when it's set in that, on high in the stars, then will I bring them down. So that shows you that was a pinnacle. So for NASA to say that America is back, it shows you they're trying to bring themselves.
So they're saying they're going to the moon, isn't it? Yeah, that's the spirit.
The height to where they once was, but you ain't. All right, the debt you're being heavily weighed down by a debt that you could never pay.
I saw one of the brothers. They said one of the elders I was watching. He said that because he mentioned what you just said, the Artemis thing. Yeah. And he said they were better off getting the clip from Superman 2 with Zod when he comes to Earth. He comes to the moon. They plug because the American flag's planted in the moon. You're better off getting that thing because it was a whole hoax. It was a CGI hoax.
And that's the thing. It's like you ain't been there since how many years?
This one they'll probably use AI.
But they didn't even go up there. They said the whole thing was to go
to see the dark side of the moon or go further
BS,
than anyone else.
That's
before.
complete BS, man.
Why would you go further when you could just jump on the moon and then put another flag? You could put a MAGA flag up there.
And Esau,
red cap on top of the flag. There you go.
Esau would have been gone there back and forth.
Yeah, it would have exactly.
Since that first so-called landing. He would have been going there.
Don't
BS,
colonize that too, bro. Man said a whole land where you can go and endless abundant land.
The man that went there, was it Armstrong?
Yeah, Neil Armstrong.
Yeah, he actually came out and said it was all BS anyway.
Yeah.
He actually came out himself and said it was all BS.
Let's keep it going.
Right? So it says, and Edom shall be a possession. Seir shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiant.
Yeah. This Israel's gonna. That's the thing is, it's basically gonna be the end of any thought of glory or majesty being on Esau's system, Babylon the Great. That's really all. And the thing is we already got it. Shameful spewing has really been on America. These guys, and what was it? The tongue full on itself. The Epstein files coming out. That's basically a full, like all the dirty laundry being exposed to where people that were meant to be honorable, higher level, the so-called elite amongst the civilization, you come to find out they're the basest, lowest people you're gonna find out there.
And they portrayed themselves as the good guys, man, all these years.
They're holding themselves with esteem, and basically that esteem's going to cease to be. And then those who are really seen as the basest, I've seen princes on horses, and men walking as
servants upon the earth.
Servants upon the prince walking the servants on the earth.
Right.
Like those that were seen as just servants, as lowly. They're like, but they're just blacks. They're just niggers.
But that's the Lord.
Let me read this quickly to back up your point. 2 Corinthians 11:14, and no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light.
Yeah, Satan transformed. It's a matter of perception. They've
good guy
basically been able to sell. And that's the thing is like philanthropy.
Yeah,
He basically
definitely.
made a system where if you spend money, if you put money towards certain things, even if it's like 0.1% of your wealth, because you put such an exorbitant amount, it's like, wow, he's so what a nice guy. He's so generous. He's so giving.
Yeah.
You know, meanwhile, whatever, you know, he could have just chopped up and eaten a whole family. You don't even know.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is that has,
Which is what they've been doing.
yeah, the reality. And the thing is a lot of people go into that that goes into that vision.
Well, and it's the other thing as well. I was going to say that. But you know, you have like the Edomites, you know, the serfs. They basically buy into it as well because it makes them
Exalts them.
more, yeah, it look more relevant than what they are. Because you know, here in the UK, the white working class man is basically the least literate. Right, they're trailing behind all other races.
Yeah.
So they're the ones that are saying reform UK.
Bro,
But they
if
come
everyone
with
left, the country would dip
uneducated. There you
the
go.
country would dip to hell.
There you go. So
They're not the brains. They're not the brains behind shit.
No,
that's
These
it.
men are
Bro,
Neanderthals,
a
bro.
bunch of
That's it.
industries will collapse
Collapse.
completely.
But
Oh,
they
come on.
like to what they like to like ride on the back of is basically all the stuff that everyone, mainly Jake, is coming over here and doing. Because as well, what they do is they micromanage or you know, throw their job that they got, their duties they got to do. They put it down. You have someone underneath them that's basically an assistant manager
Bro.
or supervisor that's managing the whole, keeping the ship afloat. And they're just standing there and just saying, yeah, you know, going into the meeting, I did this, I did that.
Yeah, didn't
But
do
they're
shit.
severely incompetent.
They're
Right?
nincompoops,
And the jig is up. Right? It's coming to a point where that facade you've been selling, everyone's clocking onto it.
Yeah.
That's why now you have a big thing where you have so-called white men around the globe where they feel insignificant. Right? And the reason why they feel like that is because what's happening? It's down to other, and this is why Trump, the DEI, you know, he's got a whole thing out for that. Because the agenda is that it's allowing other nations to come in and they're basically putting, you know, a big X on the image of the so-called white man. All right, they're making him look questionable. Like, is he competent? All right, so Trump trying to reintroduce that, make America great again.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it says, and Edom shall be a possession, Numbers 24:18. And Edom shall be a possession, Seir shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion.
Right, sorry, Israel shall do valiantly. Right, because though we're down in, you know, down in the dumps basically in the pot, well, as it tells you in Psalms,
among the
pots, yeah, we're going to be taken up into feathers of silver and gold, man. You know, the chariots basically. So we're going to go from rags to riches, right? And that's something that's on the cards. It's rapidly approaching because we can see the world is basically imploding right now. And if anyone doesn't think that, you're not paying attention. You don't really know what's going on because right now America is being embarrassed by Iran,
Totally.
And Iran is
They're laughing at
like
you, man.
a proxy of Russia
some
and China.
dust bowl shithole,
Yeah.
apparently.
Well, I saw something where they were showing that the £8 million drones America flies, these men are destroying it with like 10 grand
Yeah, yep,
drones.
yep.
They make
Yeah,
two of them, and they got endless supply of it.
And they're sending out decoys as well. So they're drawing them out, they're sending all their missile defense system, depleting them, and then overcompensating as well. They call it oversaturation missiles, where their warheads is too, because they had the little skirmish last year, they know how many warheads come out.
Yeah.
So now they basically overwhelm them when the warheads come out, and they can't react basically. So the system is compromised, and that's why they're not getting fucked up.
Yeah, even gutter rats in fucking the state. I heard that, well, I saw on socials that they're fleeing certain towns.
Yeah.
They're just getting bombed and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
That Iron
That's
Dome
the
ain't
thing,
working,
yeah,
man.
it's built, the defenses like the Iron Dome, and America's missile defenses are more for like ICBMs.
Yeah.
They're built based off the Cold War, when it was like the big deal was like intercontinental ballistics, like you want to be able to stop those big interceptions. But then with modern warfare, that's the thing, it's the same thing with like, I don't know, like Black Hawk Down or even Call of Duty. where they show like modernized warfare is different. It was like Iraq kind of showed it with IEDs, where they said like the Hummers, they didn't have, at the bottom they had no armor. So man would just dash an IED, everyone's legs are blown off. You men are thinking, oh, the most armament, blah blah blah. Then any bomb, just improvised device, blowing your legs off. So it's the same thing with the drones. Yeah. They basically, because they're so small and so cheap, they can just overwhelm.
Yeah. It says, and Edom shall be a possession, Seir shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. It says, and when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever.
Yeah, and then Amalek gets a special mention. Because that's the thing is, even until now, that relationship has basically been, it was set from the first, really. Because they were the first to lay hands on Israel after they came out of Egypt. And then, you know, the judgment is, okay, you guys are going to get the ultimate cleansing at the end. And now we've basically seen, and I think the joke is as well, is the least of the flock will draw them out. Their role is to be the inciting incident. Just like you have like World War II, it's Hitler invaded Poland. That's the starting point. World War I was the assassination of Franz Ferdinand. But then, you know, World War III, the third world, as it's written of in the scriptures, is basically what? Israel drawing in greater nations into that region to where those little proxy conflicts basically flare up. And then you already have it where, you know, American soldiers in the vicinity, they're basically having to be out there. You had the whole kerfuffle of the pilot, the American pilot being going down in Iran, and then them being like, oh, Iran took to find him, America took to find him. Then as well, they said they use new technology where they basically
zone in on a heartbeat.
Yeah, they said they could detect even within the whole region like a heartbeat, and you think like that.
Believe that shit.
But then that's the thing is whatever these because it's a possibility. But it's like even if they have these technologies, the thing that just shows that there's things like different technologies that you're not even aware of on a military level that they're being used, because that might be the actual thing, but then whatever they're actually using, then it's like, oh, okay, they might have ways to track or trace people. It could just be the chip. Could be a few things.
Hey, man, have you seen Scott Ritter? He's going into America. It's like he ain't got a chance. Have you seen that?
I haven't been up to date.
Every chance he gets to talk about what's going on, he talks about how fucked up America is finished. You can't invade them on the ground. You can't do nothing in the air.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
He lets these are, you know, obviously military personnel. They've got high level experience.
Yeah.
He always goes into it, bro. This is it, man. And it's showing the world, you know, basically that, you know, your might is done.
Let me read this back up, bro.
Bro.
Psalm 64:2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. They whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words.
Yeah, these secret councils. And that's the thing is as far as on a real scale, what goes on is a lot of the real people with power, with sway, they're keeping themselves in the dark. They know as far as when you know what's saying, you know, heavy is the head that wears a crown. When you're seen as the leader, as the ruler within a region, then you have all those expectations tied onto you.
Everyone else to you, innit?
Yeah. But then it's just like you'll have puppet states. And that's the thing as well, is like when you deal with the American empire, they really deal with puppet states.
Oh yeah.
They'll basically have someone where, oh, okay, look, we're gonna fund you, we're gonna give you weapons, we'll take out your rival, we'll use information warfare against them, we'll use X, Y, Z against them and set you up. But then you're beholden to us. Just like in Venezuela. Venezuela, you had the second in command, the Broad. Basically, she was set up and established over them. Meanwhile, what's her name got taken out? She was established. Maduro got taken out.
Yeah.
Then basically, is what the first thing that was done. Oh, we're going to allow American companies to come in and manage our oil. Then they're like, okay, now we've got you know, backup supply for oil, we can go start dealing with the Middle East.
This is what they want to even do to Iran.
Yeah.
And I saw something as well in Iran as well. Another reason why Israel, he was telling me, but one of the brothers was telling me, Israel wants Iran as well because they have like some of the best water on earth. You know, like they got this spring. They got this like great spring. It's like some of the cleanest water. And you know them gutter rats, they have to filter shit to grow dates, and their tap waters, it must be hell over there. So like, I mean, tap water is hell in general. But the point is, Iran has like this specific spring, and they're like, you ain't getting that. You ain't getting that. You know?
Let me read on. Verse 4, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect.
That's Israel, that's us, man. We're the perfect, unbeknownst to the world. Well, we are, because we learn this truth, so we're clean. You know what I mean? But Israelites are the upright. And it's coming out. It's coming out that you read about the transformed to an angel of light, Esau. His image was the image of good for at one point. Now it ain't. When people now look at Esau, the first thing people are thinking of, how many kids has this guy killed? Or like some of these Edomites, they got a rule. Like I was saying that to a brother today. They was walking past us today, and they just got them. They got them beady, massive round eyes. I'm like, this guy looks. He look like Stone Cold. You don't want to sleep around them. They're Cain basically. These guys got them natural born killer spirits.
Well, what does it say?
A murderer spirit.
You know,
Natural born murderer.
That's it. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices.
Yeah.
You know about we've been set up to basically cast down strongholds.
Yeah.
And bring every word that speaks against Yahweh Shai into subjection.
Yeah. And that's what you done. So it's beautiful that the Lord now is exposing you. And the world sees it. And it's funny because Iran, I don't know, it's like, I don't know whether it's part of their propaganda or whatever, but they're doing a lot of things with Jake.
It's part of their propaganda.
It's not a propaganda, but
Germany.
you know, same thing Germany, but you see how they put that missile with Tupac on it.
Yeah.
And then they even said they put Nipsey Hussle, Malcolm X. These were all martyrs.
Yeah.
You know, we know what America do and all this. You know, like
it's
a fact.
Because they understand how. Well, first and foremost, they know that we're the Israelites.
Well, do you remember
that's the main thing.
Hell yeah. They
know
where Jacob.
who we are. So they know that the reason why America was able to establish himself. Go back to the book of Genesis, Laban, with Jacob. The reason why he didn't let Jacob go, the reason why he said, okay, I'll give you this daughter, then you got to stay another 7 years, and I'll give you this one. And then Jacob got to the point where he's like, listen, man, where is my money so I can go and go about my business?
Yeah.
Because he served his apprenticeship. But then what did the Lord say? He basically said, I kept you here because I knew that you was blessing me. The Lord was blessing you, so you were blessing me.
And bro, you know what? You can be around spirits like that because you got brothers that you can get blessings because being around them. You know, like you connect with each other. You see stuff like that. So, you know, it's a benefit. In righteousness. Bro, I was gonna say something to you. Say something as well. Remember the film Three Kings? I don't know if you lot saw it.
Yeah, with Ice Cube.
Ice Cube and that. Remember there was an interrogation scene that the Iraqi goes through.
I ain't seen it, but I remember
the scene. But there's a scene, but they're basically stealing Saddam's gold in that film.
Yeah, I heard.
But there's a scene where the Iraqis got them and they said, why, they interrogate him, he goes, and he does the Michael Jackson voice, the Iraqi dude goes, why you make Michael Jackson hate his skin, he said. Basically he was cursing out Babylon to them. So them Arabs and all the people over there, they know who Jake is, and they were saying basically America made it where black people hate who they, for a period of time, they put inner hatred in Jake through that slavery. They were saying, why you make Michael Jackson hate his skin, you say to him in the film. Because they know them nations, man. Even when the brothers were saying in the Iraq war, the Iraqis were putting a fucking thing saying, Jacob, go home. You know, like to the Jake soldiers. So they know, man.
Let me read on.
Get me.
So it says, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search.
They've done deep research into these things. That's the thing is, as far as when we're dealing with the elite, they're on parity with us. They're basically looked into it and deeply delved into these matters. So they're trying to come out ahead. That's the thing is when you get to the average Joe on a low level, they're not really piecing things together. They're not really aware or knowing like, oh, okay, no, this is what, the fullness of it is. But then the elite are really there. That's why they know, oh, okay, we need to make sure we're working against shit. People are, oh, why would they do this? Everyone's like, oh, why is there so much support for the state of Israel? Why is America going to bat for Netanyahu, blah, blah. But they don't realize this is about an inheritance.
Exactly.
They're trying to usurp an inheritance.
Because we know what Netanyahu is doing is what? He's trying to establish greater Israel. Alright, what is that? That's the blessing that was bestowed upon our forefather. Alright, Abraham. And we know that they didn't come into fruition, during the time of the first and the second temple. But it's set to come into stone or into play with the third temple, which they're trying to implement. But they're being carnal about it, but they don't understand that we are Jerusalem. Right? What does it say? Jerusalem that's free is the mother of us all. Right? And it says also in the book of
Jerusalem, which is above, is free.
Yeah. And it also says, just to say this as well, it says where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there I am in the midst. Alright? We've been made the lively stones. Alright? Peter broke it down. So we're the building blocks. 1 Corinthians 12th chapter. It speaks about the body of Yahweh Shai.
There's this Muslim guy I know.
Yeah.
They were telling me, war over there, they really want that Al-Aqsa mosque and that. I'm like, bro, that's a pile of bricks, man. I'm like, bro, it's really about us.
Yeah.
This whole thing is really about, what did the say?
Prophecy.
Yeah, it's it. It's about the Israelites, man.
Because that's the thing, it's like, as far as, the thing with Islam is that's part of Al-Qaeda.
It's all part of it.
That's really a part of their utilizing that conflict to then justify, okay, we're going to go about and establish what we want. They don't really, as far as goes with Islam, right? Run up Islamic prophecy.
They want that Al-Aqsa mosque and something. I was like, yeah, all right, man. That's a pile of bricks, bro.
You don't even know. That's the temple that's measured without shall they trample,
Yeah.
Basically, they're going to be in the midst of that.
Yeah.
The Revelation 11 tells you.
Yeah. So this is, and it's a beautiful time because all this shit's going to be, done away with, man. All this confusion. And you can see the Lord's flipping.
No, I got more, but he's got a quick one.
I got that. Amalek shall be his latter end. That one.
Okay, you might as well.
So this is Numbers 24 and 20. It says, and when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever.
Yeah. That's as far as the thing is within the bounds of prophecy, there's no means for Esau to escape. That's why even in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary it said that. Right, they were the only nation where there was no promise of future mercy. The only neighbor of the Israelites, there was no future mercy promised. So he's basically snuck and been like, okay, well, he's snuck, Esau's done away. No, they were ended. Now we're just, we're actually Israel. Because why? They're trying to basically find some means to escape. That's really what the diligent search is being done for. That's what they're doing the deep research for. They're trying to find a means, a path through. And then, these they have the resources. You go to what is it, Ezekiel 28. Through much that merchandise, that business.
Now, why is it a bank?
Yeah, why isn't it that you achieve mass riches? And then as well, it's like even when you go into the Middle Ages, when I'm coming to an end, it was a lot of the different European kingdoms fell through financing. They were basically drawn into wars, they were basically indebted, and then through those debts, that's how power was gained over. And those systems they were able to put together, through crime, through war, through financing, that's what remained to this day. Money is still used, debt is still used to turn a man into a slave.
The guy is saying, that's the spirit.
Right, that's the spirit.
That's what it is. Let me read this though. Read on. Psalm 64 and 6, mid-verse. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. Disappointed. But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away.
Yeah, that exalted, angel of light, image of Esau. That's basically what we brought down. The idea of, the glorious American system. People are really out here thinking like, America, the greatest nation on earth. but like, no one's ever going to be able to, are people ever going to be able to live as good as we're living in this modern age? That's what these guys are really thinking. Meanwhile, they don't really even know what they're missing out on. They don't realize that they've actually been drawn into a web. These men out here slaving.
Get out of it. Yeah. That was a spirit on that.
Yeah. These people out here slaving away to maintain Esau's rulership.
Oh yeah.
Because why? They think they have some place or some part within it.
You're a slave, Neo. Like basically these bots. And now, people are like, because that comfort is slowly getting drained from them, they have to acknowledge it. You've got to acknowledge it.
Yeah. Because that's the reason why everyone's all of a sudden getting woke.
Right.
Is everyone's like, oh, like suddenly, I've actually had problems with the American system the entire time.
Right.
It's because what? It's because the cost of their comforts are going up.
The cost of their comforts are going up, bro. And it ain't what it once was, man.
Read this. Nahum 3:4 says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts that selleth nations for a whoredoms and families for a witchcrafts. And that's the other thing, is witchcraft is the means by which this rule is exercised, by which the decision making on the highest levels. These guys are dealing with heavy left-hand side witchcraft. That's what they're into. The reason why these things have become, and it's funny as well, because through the process of time, it's become more and more of a factor within society, where there's all different forms of witchcraft suddenly being normalized. I remember even when I was young, being like in the newspaper, like, well, just be like horoscopes. They used to think it's like, what the fuck are horoscopes doing in like every newspaper? Where they're saying, how's your day gonna be? You're gonna meet someone special, blah blah blah. You got people out here doing checking their star signs, doing all these things, basically getting into these things through the left-hand side, to where they're trying to utilize, I'm trying to gain something. Then with the more the Wicca and the more modern forms of witchcraft, they're basically trying to channel ancient energies. And it's funny, because even when Esau took over, he inherited a lot of those ancient witchcrafts.
I remember one day I was in the store when I was young, and then this lady, she was from West Africa. I was reading that, you said the horoscope, right? I opened that thing up and she took it off and she said, don't get into that stuff, you get me? And I was thinking, I didn't understand at the time, but obviously probably that witchcraft element, innit? That's why she snatched it off me. She said, you don't know what you're doing with this, she said.
That's a big
I was fucking about in the shop,
yeah.
right? And she just took it off and it was like an older woman. So you don't know what you're doing with this, she said. So that shit is all good. Remember all that Mystic Meg and all that shit? Every Saturday after the lottery, Mystic Meg would come on. Remember that? With the crystal ball and all that.
And it's something that is again, like through the 60s with the free love and all that, a lot of those forms of witchcraft got a lot more mainstream. People going out in the woods doing seances, doing certain things. Then even before then, it was like the Victorian era, where you had it become a big thing. Aleister Crowley, all them. That's always been a factor within Esau's system, but then it's really something that's for the elite.
And you know what, bro? It's funny because the late great Planet Earth, that docu movie, they go into prophecy and whatnot, and how America's going to be nuked. And it was like, I think that was filmed like the 80s. And they asked the people in America, in Los Angeles, what do you think of like the Ezekiel so and so, the missiles like the horses, that scripture. He said that Joel. There should be like the horses on the walls, right? And then the guy in America, they said, they goes, it's not going to happen, and it won't happen in our time, whatever. And then they said, then the documentary skipped and they said, people are now, in this day we're living in, spirituality has increased. And you know what the spirituality that increased was? Witchcraft. Because it went onto Hollywood. Said spirituality has increased here, people want answers. And then it went to like Hollywood billboard. Spirit, they showed you that.
Yeah.
It's the spirit, bro.
Let me read this to back up. You say Isaiah 47:12. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in a multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to utilize. That's the means they're utilizing it towards. They're looking for a means of survival. They're basically looking for like, oh, the thing is they've had their rule. They know as fuck. They've done the research. When you go into history, every empire fell. There was a time where the Greeks were at the height of their power, and now they're calling that rocket Artemis 2. The temple Artemis is a ruin. Ain't no one thinking about the Artemis now. We're worshiping Artemis now. There was a time when the Romans were there. There was a time when the Persians, bro, no one can come chat to the Persians.
Oh yeah.
But they all had they rose up and they fell.
Yeah.
And now we're in a time where we're seeing the tail end, the decaying last few gasps of breath of the American system, and they're looking for a means by which they can continue. They're looking for a place of stay. And that's really, and the thing is what every empire before has done. Even Israel, when Israel was in their power, in their land, they're thinking like, yo, how are we gonna go down? Yeah.
Or the Israelites. Yeah, us,
Israelites,
yeah, hell yeah. Well, man, during the time of King David and then falling into King Solomon, you never thought Jake would be going down when you read about it.
You know, it said silver was a stone. We just
silver,
glittering legendarily, man.
Yeah, but the Lord had other plans, man. And guess what? The Lord's plan for Esau is, bro, we're finally gonna see this demon fall, man.
Yeah.
You know, because we've been so, like, you've been in this society for so, you know, it feels like an eternity. Like the way the system is, and your parents lived here, your grandparents, etc. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but guess what? Everything rises and falls, man.
Yeah.
We're now in a generation of the end, man.
Yeah. Revelation
I got
12
something after you.
12 and 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time.
That's why go on, I'm sorry, bro.
You know, this guy's coming down with full force. Because why? As far as for now, this is it. This is the last guy. This is all he's got left. And the thing is he came before as the Romans. So as far as the elite, they're gonna know, damn. Now Rome fell. They're like, yo, okay. Like, but then the time of now there's you know all the prophecies are ready to be fulfilled. They've got technologies on a higher level. They've basically got a means by which they really think, oh, we can become like the Most High. We can basically become as gods. We're gonna have the ability to completely oversee people. If anyone even so much as talks against us, you should be like, okay, turn that guy off.
And you know, really, that's the blessing for us, because one of the scriptures says, if the dog moves his tongue against Israel, they'll get smitten down. That's really for us, but they want that for themselves. Hey, do you remember in the Batman Begins? In the beginning, when he's training in Tibet with that mountain, and then he had the smoke and mirror Ra's al Ghul, you know, the one that wasn't really him. And he goes to like Rome and Constantinople before it. He said, Gotham. Yes, basically the point of Gotham was it was about to fall because it reached decadence. And it was then that it was the Ra's al Ghul that symbolized the Illuminati. And do you remember? And he said to him, he goes to him, we put Gotham. We basically brought it to the brink of depression. I remember it was the Great Depression in Gotham. They did it. They created it. So they can create monsters.
Let me get this back up that point. Revelation 20 and 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil, and Satan.
And what depicts that? There's that Middle Ages picture, Day in the King's Court. And it's remember, and it's that in that Middle Ages picture, Day in the King's Court. There's one you gotta see. It's like all Edomites in chains, and it's like Jake dragging them basically. You know, you have to find it. But I think they've even tried to swipe that off the internet now.
Probably.
Few brothers got it.
A lot of them things like if you ain't got it saved, it's gone.
It's gone. But there was one.
Or hidden. You gotta have the
hidden.
Direct look like find it in
There's
Google.
a lot of videos I've got on old channels that I don't use from 17.
They're there.
They're there. You ain't gonna find it if you Google it.
Yeah, it's funny because you know what happened? Even this week, they struck my channel that I use, right? My main channel. So I logged into some old channels, And what one of the old channels I've got, they've wiped it off the net.
Wow.
They wiped it off.
Yeah, you can't find it.
It's gone.
You know
They
they
wiped it
did
off
as
the net,
well.
bro.
There's a thing
I've got the email, but the actual channel's gone.
I got emails around on it. It said if you don't log into certain emails within, like, they say, oh, you've got 8 months or something to log in. There's some amount of years, and they delete it. Yeah, they put in that.
Bastards cleaned it
So
up.
it's like, if you forgot it, if you think you ain't logged in, it's just like, bro, it's got
Let them carry on. And bound him 1,000 years. Verse 3.
That's the Dark Ages.
Yep.
Dark Ages. Esau was bound for that 1,000 years. He had no power. See, contrary to what this era has, we've been taught in this era. Esau was in slavery, man. And it ain't hard to believe. You know what I'm saying? You know, people, that was far-fetched for people. Now history is coming out. There's shit's coming out that, basically truth's coming out that they didn't want to come out.
Well, this is that's the reality of the situation. If you actually are in tune with what actually happened during the time of this man's rule, you know that he's a liar. All right? When you deal, we don't even have to deal with Jake, because we can deal with Jake. We can get there. When you deal with Moab, right, the so-called Chinese, what did the British do to them? They weren't allowed to do no form of trade, and they had to drug them up. Like, how much of a pitiful history is that? Someone just said, we don't want to do trade with you. You said, you know what? We're going to get you hooked on opium. We're going to make you fucking meth heads, and drug addicts.
Yeah,
right?
And the reason they didn't want to do business is because they knew that these guys are scumbags.
Basically, that's it.
Because they, remember, you know, even Moab were known for fine trading for generations. Their dynasties traded with other empires and people. They had the Silk Road. But they knew these men are fucking demons.
That's really where it is.
They knew they were demons.
So that's what they don't tell you.
Yeah.
Because once they got in there, they seek their claws,
They
sink
drugged
their
them up,
teeth
bro. They
into
drugged them up.
drug them up, and turn them in and out, basically.
Yeah. And then
had
started
their way
bombing
with
them.
it.
And they started bombing them.
You deal with India, you know, all these different nations, and then with Jake, you know, now they turn around and try to say, oh, you guys were base. We showed you how to read and write. Are you fucking all right in your head? Like, man can't read and write.
Oh, it's funny because there's two things I wanted to mention. You got me rethinking, bro. There's one Jake I saw online. I did a video on it, and basically he goes how he hates X Twitter because it showed like a picture of like Moab's castles. It showed a picture of castles in Moab's castles. It shows castles in Europe, obviously, which was Jake. And even the Moabite feudal Japan was Jake. They showed them. Then it said. Then it went. He harps on Africa. This guy. But then it showed an African mud hut, bro. Then he goes. This is why I hate this thing. You guys don't know no history. He said. And then you know what he did? He started going into the kingdom of Benin. He started going into the kingdom in Ghana, the Ashanti Empire. They all had castles. They were destroyed by the rule of Britain, man. They were burned down. Even in Senegal, there was this big fort in Senegal when the French conquered it in 1776. They burnt it to smithereens. That's why none of that shit exists. But he was going into it, and some are still there. So, you know, basically, the point what I'm saying is that the popular belief of Esau's history is all lies. And he had to do that to dehumanize us. They were mud hut swinging. You know, we had empires really. They know that. They know that.
We had Britain and Earth. They were Timbuktu is a bait one. But anyone, they say they should. How you doing? You alright? Yeah. Like even when you deal with, there was one other one I saw, they were speaking about the Yoruba, but they were talking about how advanced their mathematics was. And they said that basically they were operating with code before code existed. Like certain ground, you know, like certain
mathematicians and that.
Like, come on.
Even the Moors were great mathematicians.
The reality is that's what people don't realize. You know, you live in this world. This is why it's so funny. People live in a world where they think maths has never been this advanced. How do you fucking build a building, bro?
Exactly.
Like, do you know how advanced civil engineering has been around? How do you think the pyramids were constructed?
And there was, and bro, you know what?
What are we talking about?
BS Esau pushes. There was technology before you, Esau.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was like, they say, oh, we don't know how the pyramids were made. But obviously,
there was advanced mathematics prior to
that's the thing. It's like with those mathematics systems, it's like something. These things are all these concepts are reflective of a use in the real world. When you're like trying to leverage how much of a counterweight is needed to support this big of a wall or this high of a building. Like all those things, that's what these mathematical tools are being used. So when you're doing a calculation, it's for a purpose. Because you learn it in school and you're just sitting down and you're like, what the fuck is this use as dog shit?
That's because
You
Esau
don't
took
really,
it.
That's because
you
of the
don't
way
really-
he,
you know, like, you know the
programmed us
concept.
to learn it.
But then it's like you're thinking, okay, you're building a house. You need to, you're gonna have this quality of this weight and quality of these tiles on the roof.
I think
you
Apostle-
need boards that have these weight and whatnot. You're then gonna have the mathematics to be like, okay, how much force are we gonna have to be able to take on this side? Then you have like the main post in the middle, how much on
And
that?
if it's off 1/10 of a thing,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
fucked.
yeah,
and
yeah.
then
The whole house is toppled.
But then it's
The whole
like,
house is
one
toppled.
million.
yeah, and that's why you have
Talking about.
ancient structures where they're built to and they're still up after thousands of years.
Built to last, bro.
Because why? That's all of what them people went into.
Well, even the wrong, who deals with Esau, the Roman roads is still there.
Yeah.
Why are they still there?
And then even
That shows you that
aqueducts.
even this man today is a lesser form than what he is. The fact that he don't have, he's going to say the apostles mentioned.
Yeah,
it.
I mentioned that about the Apostle the Bar was talking about. I think it's like with the house building. Like if you get one measurement wrong, it can like basically
yeah,
topple a house.
Yeah.
A whole, like you mentioned, the roof can cave in.
Yeah.
So it has to be precise. You know,
Let me read this.
that takes genius minds, man.
Revelation 20:3, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be
Michael
loosed
Jackson.
in a little season.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Funny.
So he was bound for that 1,000 years that he shouldn't deceive anyone.
Yeah.
He's Esau's the great deceiver, man. You can't believe nothing they say. Esau says, man.
That's the thing is, it came out, and then the first thing you thought is deceive, as they call it, the enlightenment. When you and the thing is basically they said it's going back to ancient Greek, ancient Roman ideas and approaches to things.
Well, so like,
No, you might as
I
well.
was just gonna say, well, the greatest deception Esau's got right now is that all the women are buying into him being the actual man. You know, like all these different nations, you know,
Yeah.
that's the reality.
That's
because
coming to its end.
because the reality of it, like I said, I've had my little things ruminating in the background, work and all this type of shit. But the reason why, like even where I went earlier today, when I did like the rope, the practical, everyone was like, wow, oh wow, you really put it, oh, wow, it was so, and I'm thinking like,
It's
what,
like A to
guys
B
are
shit.
sick,
it's
yeah,
like,
guys are
it's like simple,
Yeah,
but then you realize it's like,
we're shining stuff.
There you go.
Jacob is just a natural soul.
and that's
Jacob just has natural soul. Like to us, it's like to Jake, it's normal. You know what I'm saying?
So it's like the way that like there's a level they're used to with Eve, and then when you come through, you just kick through the door. Even like the situation I was talking about with on the plantation. When I did what I did, they were all flat. I could see them. They were like they didn't expect it from me. You know, they were just thinking him. Why would he do that?
Yeah.
Like how did he know to do that? Like
And that's the thing,
Because we're smarter than you, man.
That's Esau's some more subtle than he preached in the garden.
But so are we.
But then that's it, yeah. That's
Lord, give it to us.
It's like we. And the thing is, as well as that, we harmless as wise as serpent, harmless as a dove.
Yeah.
As far as for now, just because the Esau's painted the image of Jacob, that angry, irrational, irate. You just like as soon as anything happens,
There's one Jake at work, and he knows the main manager in the business, in the company I work for. The Jake knows him in it because he knew him when the manager worked. He's a weasel. He worked his way up to management, but he was doing the lower job at one point. But this Jake, he always puts him in his face when the guy always wants to avoid him when he's the manager because he knows the strength of him. This is a Jake, and the guy's an Edomite, some low life. But the Jake knows how to put him in his place professionally so much he completely avoids him, and he's so-called beneath him in terms of the position.
That's
You know
what I'm trying to say. We've been sent in the midst of wolves, and sheep in the midst of
It makes me always laugh.
like we know how to like it's funny because even the place I was at today, one guy was losing. This guy was a character. He was losing his rag so much. He's saying like, yeah, I know martial arts. I'll punch you, and he's saying it to the tutor. And I had to say, bro, no one's gonna fight no one here, bro. Like, relax, calm down, bro.
Yeah.
Like, no one's gonna fight. But he was losing. You see how like emotional people are.
Oh yeah.
No, not to say that man don't get emotional, won't pump something in the face, but it's just like we kind of know we know how to.
You have different, like you can even switch lanes.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. We got rationale.
They only have the ignorant. They only have ignorant
one
means by which to approach things, and that's like a lot of people. You kind of get to where that's the thing. It's like to hurt someone. Like a lot of them, it's like if you have been gifted a gab, then you can chat to someone and cut them and rend them asunder.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's why it says what the words what sharpen the two-edged sword. Because really, as far as with them words alone, you can have someone mentally just completely in subjection.
Oh yeah.
But then there's means to do that through physical means as well. But then it's like being able to switch lanes as well. That's why it's like even with war, when Trump started the war with Iran, people were throwing back his own tweet he did at what do you call it? At Obama, would have been Obizi at the time. Obama basically was what do you call it? Obama was he was saying, oh, the reason why war's going to stop with Iran is because Obama's a terrible negotiator. But then it wasn't shown with Trump.
Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
LeBron James doing a taco.
I mean, the guy, the fucking Trump's favorite meal is a fucking hamburger from McDonald's.
Yeah,
man.
McDonald's.
It just tells you it all.
Yeah.
And he eats tons of them.
And you see the CEO, you see him eating the
He spat it out. He spat it out.
He's embarrassed. He's like, oh, he didn't eat that shit.
And Trump supposedly started losing weight because he went keto at McDonald's. He was just eating the burger alone. He's a demon, man. He's an all-American, isn't he? He's a demon. Really, he's a German. He's a German.
Wasp. They call them the wasps, you know.
I
got something after as well.
So back in Nahum 3:5, it says, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame.
And you know what? I saw something. Can I say something on that point? The Lord's showing your shame because I was watching, Anthony Bourdain. They took him out. Someone took him out. Yeah. Anyway, that's not what I want to mention that he got taken out. But he went to India, and in India, there's a place between India, you know, the Himalayan mountains.
Yeah,
But just before Nepal, you got the Himalayas. What the British would do is they would use the retreat. They set up their base in between the Himalayas into going close to Nepal, but it's still India. They were set up there for like 9 months of the year because it's so hot in other parts. That's where the British set their base up.
Okay.
And to get there, it's like a hike, so they built the railroad.
Yeah.
And they killed loads of Indians building it. Right? And when you get to the town, you know what it looks like? It just looks like you're on a fucking high street in somewhere in Britain. You know, the typical high street look. It's got a top shop, it's got a this, it's got a it's right there, deep in the mountains of India, in the Himalayas. They established it basically because it was the weather was warmer there, not warmer, cooler. They would stay there and they would govern their business from there. And what they did is they would have all the leaders of like Gujarati and all these what they call them Maharajas. They called them. They called them Maharajas. And what the Maharajas were like East Indians that they gave deals to quail the subordinates. And then when Britain dipped in that, what they did is they fucked all their Maharajas over. So all the Maharajas now have like what they call like some of them still have land, but they got assets but no money. They fucked them over. They just took it and dipped, and then left it parted. But you got to see it. Like I was like, wow, that looks like England, but it's in India. It's like deep in the mountains, and it was fully reserved for them. The East Indians had to clean poo and shit. Get me? And there was even some of them. Their jobs was just to keep monkeys off of the royal palaces and shit. See, so that's part of their shame. I'm saying. You're reading Nahum.
That's the thing. As far as it's like with Esau, it's the amount of crimes have been done, bro. There's crimes like the crimes no one even knows. Like there's things where it's like the thing is even if you consider just like in the last 10 years, there's things in living memory you might have seen and witnessed and you've forgotten. It's like there's things that would have happened where it's like no one would have written it down, no one would have recorded it, or someone might have recorded it and got their brains blown out. And then it's just like, damn, you wouldn't even know. But there's just angel there like, okay, that's on the tally. And then all them things are now being dredged up. Whereas it's really the true nature of this man been observed. And then whilst that's happening, you've got the perfect example, the perfect signifier of everything that's Esau, of Trump just there, behaving and basically going into that old spirit of Esau.
He's
There's a thing.
Behaving badly.
Yeah.
That's what I remember.
That's
I
a-
remember.
yeah.
Behaving badly.
Because the
That's
thing with Trump
Esau,
as well is really he's just going back to the old spirits. If you stick Trump, I was listening to a YouTube video where they were talking about during World War One, I believe, or maybe no, I think it was before World War One. It was when Britain was basically building up their navy. They were converting from like steamboats to like submarines and little boats, and it was basically going over like an incident that was completely like just no one would have even found out about it until after the empire got like basically came to an end and everyone involved died. But they basically had like they built a new submarine. This new submarine had huge issues because it ran on steam and it was fucking underwater. It was like any issues with the engine, it's just like super deadly. So they'll basically they had a bunch of like issues with them in general. Then they were moving and they were doing maneuvers up near the Arctic, and they basically fucked up so legendary. 2 or 3 of them sank. Everyone on top of them once it sank died. And then it was like hundreds of like fucking sailors died. It was all friendly fire. Then it was like the guy that was in charge was one of the top like British Empire heads. So they couldn't even really like punish him, and he just got the whole thing just completely like not spoken about for like 30, 40 years. Then you would think you would just like, oh, your dad's dead, your son's dead, and you don't even know. And that's the thing is, imagine those are the things like that's Esau's own soldiers, that's his own institutions.
Oh, yeah.
What going for the enemies? For the enemies
so
of
you
Esau.
can tell the mercies of the wicked are cruel.
Yeah.
Or the wicked are cruel, however it goes in Proverbs. So this man, you know, like, he's just innately just a fucking demon, man. You know?
It's actually, I was watching, I was like, how? It was like, it was showing like how, because of the thingy they lost the tracking of each other.
Yeah.
They didn't have radar at the times. There was a bunch of things they couldn't communicate with one another because of how to communicate. I was like, bro, it's just a comedy of errors, which resulted in like just a bunch of sailors dying. I'm like, bro, that's your own truth. That's your own like submarines. That's your own truth. That's what we own.
Yeah, alright, bro, long-term plan.
Get some proof.
I got more. It says, and I'll show the nations thy nakedness and the kingdoms thy shame, and I'll cast abominable filth upon thee and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock.
What happened with Pharaoh? When you go to Romans the 9th chapter, it tells you about the Lord basically set up Pharaoh to show his wrath. You know, so you have the children of Israel. That's even one. It's funny because that's one point I dealt with many bases, many times from when I speak to. Not understand. Like I realized, like if you ain't got the spirit on you like that, it's going to be very difficult for you to comprehend
Get any of this.
what we're saying, because there's people that will feel like, you know, why is this happening?
Bro, the time
Why
is-
is that happening? You know, why are they allowed to do this if we're God's chosen people? Bro, the Heavenly Father is doing it to let them run their course. A fair and just power. He's allowing them to run amok. So basically, you can say, listen, you done all this. You said you done all this fuckery, and now it's time to basically
Pay up time.
Yeah.
Pay the bill,
The thing
man.
is you have space to make things right. That's the joke. The joke is, in reality, is you could, like, if Esau sold us, it's like poverty. The elite can end poverty in a day. They could make right the grievances a bunch of different nations
I don't
have
have time.
in a day. There's a variety of things. They could end
bail
up
them out.
stop
You can
wars.
bail them out of fucking debts.
There's all kinds of things they could do where it's like, oh, quality of life and then mercy just being had. So, okay, you know what? These guys earn themselves a little bit. But then,
And even the biggest thing is reparations to the children of Israel.
And sometimes
We're going to say
yeah, you could do all that, but then what let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will they not learn righteousness? These guys are in the land. They're in the land. They're going to pass by a location where you're going to have biblical stories to go to and make you meditate and think, damn. Every time you go past. But then these men are going past there, then, you know, and he gets in a Gibson and he does some criminal acts. Like, that's what these men, that's the reality of it. They've basically had the capacity to do good, but then
It's not in them,
they-
man.
it's not.
They're just
That's
the
not
wicked.
what they're for.
Oh, do you see them? I mean, you've seen them social experiments, and it's like an Edom, a white-looking woman. She'll go off and ask people for water, And it's always all the Edomites always say no, ain't got it, no, and then it's like it's always the Jakes that'll buy a water or give a water.
Yeah.
Just to show you, you know, just by nature, our people are more kinder than Edomites by nature.
Well, that's why they had to sell the propaganda of us being
Evil and bad
people. Really, it's a social-economic problem. That's the reason why Jacob doing the things they're doing. It's social economic issues. Poverty.
Yeah.
If anyone's in poverty, what are they going to do? They're going to revert to criminality.
There's a woman I saw online, an East Indian woman. She got like a Nigerian husband in England. And she said how her East Indian family, these are Sikhs, and these are meant to be Sikhs, all loving Sikhs. The Sikhs are meant to be all loving. Like anyway, they are like, you know, they don't like the youths that she had with the Jake, let's say.
I seen that.
You seen that?
Yeah.
Obviously they're
She had one youth in a marriage before.
Okay, yeah.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
But the point is, what I was saying is, at the end of the day, is that, and then on the comment boards is all the Jakes saying, hey, don't worry, we'll lovingly accept you in our families. The point what I'm trying to say to you, what proves as well these people are all full of hate, Esau and these other nations, is get with their daughters and you see what them children are treated like.
The devil ones are going to come out.
Exactly, but guess what? A Jake, 9 times out of 10, you can get with a woman and your family will accept the children. 9 times out of 10. With Jake. Just showing you the nature of Jake to these other nations. It's just, we ain't got the Lord ain't put us in that scene yet.
What did it say? It say Jacob and Esau, 2 men are in our room. So basically, there's a way that we are, and there's a way that we are. They're on the opposing side of the spectrum. We're the righteous, we're the wicked. It's simple as that. And through deception, he's made it where people believe, you know, turning things upside down, that we're the wicked and they're the righteous. Right? But the reality of the situation is, hey, we ain't been nothing good to all the people on the earth, according to the word of the Heavenly Father.
Exactly.
But
That's the thing as well, is as far as all these nations know when Jake is under the curses, what that entails. That's been factored into their warfare and conduct against Israel for the longest. So they know it's like, oh, okay,
You've got to keep them sinning.
and that curse sake. Then it's like, oh, you can just look at this. Look how they deal with their kids. Or look how they deal with that. X, Y, Z.
But then you know what it is? It's just like paid in full. You know, with
Mitch.
not Mitch, Ace Boogie.
Oh yeah.
Where he's like, yo, why are these niggas like, niggas just gonna stay cool and get their money?
Oh yeah, under the
and
radar.
Alpo was telling, or Rico was telling him like, half the niggas just want to be that dude just cause. And that's the reality with the heathens. It's just they want to be that guy just cause.
Yeah.
The reality is you was not chosen for you, right? If you stand in mono with a Jake, the only thing that's gonna allow you to win or have like the
your
minds of the
expanding.
people. Not even that. It's the favor, that as well. Right. But it's the favor that's been shown to you by the propaganda that's been perpetuated. In the minds of the people, they only white is right. That's how they see everything.
It's mad.
I'll read this quickly. Revelation 11 and 10. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these 2 prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth.
That's going into Israel and Judah, the tribes. Basically, the northern and southern kingdom. When we were together, they were all putting hell on everyone. Basically, we were over them in righteousness. You know, because obviously, even when we were in our right mind, we weren't just putting hell on them for no reason.
No.
We were subjugating them to put our rule over them through the scriptures. When David slaughtered all these nations and humbled them, right, and then Solomon took the kingdom. When Solomon took the kingdom, there was harmony.
Yeah.
They were really cool because them other nations, their kings would even come to seek his wisdom.
And someone might say, well, you saying that you was right to do it. Yeah, because the Heavenly Father's in wonder.
Exactly.
You were commanded to subjugate us, to put us into hardcore slavery. And guess what? We ain't against them because that's what the word says. But what does the word also say? It says you fought the affliction.
They went above and beyond it.
There you go.
But the Most High didn't decree you to go above and beyond. He said, yo, have them in captivity.
Yeah.
I'm getting them back after a while. These devils went all out.
Yeah.
Like the Most High ain't watching.
Yeah.
Like Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, the watchman ain't checking things.
And that's why he said, because I kept my side, you fought on the
Well, it was cool. So you went, that's why the judgment's going to be, man. And then I was thinking, that's how of the judgment. Shit's gonna get so cool. Like, you might. Or either man. Not that we pick for Esau. Not that we pick for Esau.
You were like,
Bro,
damn.
no, like, remember when King Saul, right? Saul was commanded to kill Agag, and then what happened? He came back, I couldn't do it. Samuel got that motherfucking, Samuel knew him to shit with that axe. Can you picture it? He bludgeoned the shit out of him. Like Samuel was stone cold with him.
Because he knew the word
Stone
of the
cold.
Heavenly Father.
So that's
Just like Phineas.
Hey, the Lord-
Phineas did the same thing.
bro,
He just went in there with his javelin,
fuck that shit up.
just thrust them through together.
Bro,
When that Spirit of the Lord comes upon thee,
oh yeah,
it's different thing.
And that's what, the Lord is a man of war.
yeah.
That's something that in the modern age, that's another flipping, turning things upside down.
Yeah.
Esau's made, what is it? Job 9.
God is love and all that.
Yeah.
BS. No, that
Esau's tried to just change the whole image.
That's
of
that
the
rainbow.
That's that different side.
Yeah.
Where it's a whole, peace and love. And the thing is, the so-called most peace and love man on earth, how does he bear rule?
I fucking murder him.
This guy was this guy's talking about, oh, praise God. Trump, talking about, making Christian, we need to Christian values. The Christian values was colonizing the Americans. Yeah. The so-called American Christian values was hardcore slavery and bondage.
Yep.
These men are talking about, the Declaration of Independence. Every man has an inalienable right. Then he went round and turned around and whipped to Jake.
Oh, yeah.
Then he went on whipped to Jake, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about? Like, that's complete madness. But then these are the things that's why it's all
that fucking
they're selling the ideals, bro.
Well, I think wasn't it Benjamin Franklin? Was it Franklin?
Yeah, I think it's Franklin.
And the dude had basically like slaves, babies with slave women and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? He was having his way with Jake at the time.
Yeah.
And guess what? These devils still do it today. Fucking Bill Clinton. You see his son is some high yellow drip, but he's actually his kid. And he looks just like him, but guess what? He rejects him.
Yeah.
He rejects him. But the whole town knows that's Bill's kid. You devils, man.
They say Bill was the
dirt
first black president. That's what they say.
Yeah, that's what they say. That's what they say. Like, they done a lot of dirt to Jake.
Come here, nigga, baby.
Oh yeah. We love this. We vote for him based on that. That's it. Remember, even Bill Clinton went on Arsenio Hall.
They didn't know.
He's playing the saxophone, so every Jake was rating him.
They didn't know he's flying down there and getting some Jake Tell and then just smoking a fucking what they call it? What do they call it? Some pot. Smoking some pot with some Jake woman, man.
Yeah. So the point I'm saying is that the founding forefathers, they were all plantation owners. That's the point. The founding forefathers, they impoverished the freedom of America, the freedom of land. These niggas was had us in captivity. The freedom of America. That niggas was enslaving Jake.
No tyrant or whatever, blah blah blah. Then he mid-sentence just turn around, like, stay there, boy.
Yeah.
And then just and goes and that's why it's like using things.
And your whole industry, I'm sorry, your whole society is based on oppression Jake. Because even the police, they've got their badge. That's why they killed Jake as well. Because you know that badge, and it's like a patron saint of the police, and it's like a Jake at the bottom with the man with this javelin.
Yeah.
You get me? Yeah. So what they're showing is Esau killing Jake, basically. You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah.
You have something.
This ain't Thailand. You see him?
Yeah.
God damn. Esau's.
I don't want to make them come up when they get into a cussing
I don't want to
with some man boys.
Because I saw some. I was like, this one's fucked up. Because I even saw some shit in Thailand. And it was like a video of these like Eves from America were there, and they got into a fight with some lady boys, and the lady boys fucked them up, and people were like, but that's men, and they were like, and then people on the comment board saying, why are they fighting? And people on the comment board were like saying, bro, they should never have touched them. This ain't they fuck their shit, because remember they're dudes, they're demented dudes.
There was a video I saw with some Elam guy that was there when they said like, they were beating him up, and they said he didn't pay it, he didn't pay it. It's like, yo, this bro, he's getting swung. I was like, he's getting swung up by the floor, but they were fucking him up, bro. The heels, remember getting healed. I'm just trying to hide
And
his
someone
face.
on the board, like someone on the board made a great point. Saying, "Yo, man, them motherfuckers are demented, yeah." Because Esau, you know, Esau's really pushed all of that as well in this world, and that's one of his playgrounds. Like Thailand,
That's
it's
a
a Thai,
cheap
it's a fucking playground.
playground.
There's all that freak. It's another Sin
They've
City.
been going there, and now you got
Oh, my
Jake
days.
going over.
Yeah,
the world.
now all of a sudden these Jakes.
Open up. But that's
That
okay.
shows
That's,
you freakism.
It's like all-time high.
so, yeah, because I remember it's like I remember when it was
You
like
never
I
went
heard
there like
about it.
that.
I remember there was like a documentary way back where it was like early on, like maybe early mid 2000s, where it was like some white boy and his like lady boy wife, they were saying or whatever, that he'd taken over there and taken her to the UK.
Yeah.
So then I remember from back then it was like, oh, I was like, okay, so that's the Thailand thing. Then it's like you hear about people going to Thailand, like there's like middle-aged white guys going there. I was like, oh, okay, now I know what that
Getting
means.
themselves like a fucking 17-year-old, and you know it's their playground to do pedophilia and all that shit.
Yeah, that was the
Islands.
thing. Yeah, that was. I remember Shaq's mentioned about there was that BBC documentary about a guy that was going there that was pimping them out for like ages. He said it was going there to do some kind of Christian missionary work.
Right.
Then it would just go to these little villages.
Yeah.
Then it was just absolutely innumerable amounts of kids
Yeah.
being ruined and destroyed.
Well, there was one now. They're waking up to these devils because there was one now I saw in the Philippines. They arrested one.
Yeah.
You see that? So they're finally starting to do that. And even now I see.
I
some
saw a
of the-
Russian guy get beat up by MMA.
Bali in Bali.
Yeah. And they said, don't disrespect
The
people.
locals. Yeah. There you go. Because they made it a
Fucked them
fucking.
up.
They made, and the thing is as well, with those folks as well, they pimped them out, and because of the dollar and the pound, it's like they've gone above and beyond the Call of Duty because they're poor. Their money goes a long way to them.
And this is the other thing as well.
Like,
So,
the
like
pimp
I
people
said,
out with economics.
the course I was doing today, I was being around the people that they're like, wow, they really like, they let the dregs of society. Like, I understand. You know what?
It gets
When
like
you
that.
got me empathizing with Reform UK and people like that.
Yeah. You know it's fucked.
I know it's fucked because it's like, I know what you guys are doing. You're bringing in certain people that have no business coming into this country, and they're just thrown in the midst of everyone else. And then it's like you're looking and you're thinking, how the fuck? Like, how do you live in this country?
You're getting a higher quality life than maybe like 30-40% of the
Not
of the
even. I
populace.
know what you're saying, but it's like, how are you even able to like command like a conversation? How are you able to move in society? Do you get what I mean? Like,
Okay, yeah, they
you
can barely
can't
even function.
You can't like, I don't know how you can function in a society like this.
Right.
Talk, communicate.
That's
Because
the thing,
it's like
there's
you
a lot,
can't
bro.
do
There's a lot of
certain
them,
things.
like, it's
So that's why I'm
it's
saying.
supreme mercy you show by people country towards them, where it's like you realize, oh, this guy don't know no English, don't know no. I'm like, bro, there's people that come up to me and say, oh, no. So they're trying to like just speak to me. I'm like, bro, what the fuck do you expect me to do?
That's how you know
If I
that.
get my ass to China and I don't speak Mandarin, then it's like, if they reply in Mandarin, oh, I'm fucked.
That's
What
how you
the
know.
fuck, bro?
Esau's crashing the system, man.
It's
But
by
then
design.
yeah, that's what I'm
That's
saying.
what
It
I'm
has
saying.
to because it's
And that's what
Too
feeds
based,
into the mindset of the people where they look at other nations and go there and it's like, oh, they ain't got no sense, they don't know how to talk, they got no sense of, but it's like, that's their second language, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you try and go over to another
to somewhere
country,
else and try,
you know what I mean? And so you can see they're frustrated and whatever. So it's a
that's the thing. It's
a
like
powder keg,
English.
right?
English is funny.
Powder keg ready
It's,
to
it's
pop, bro.
English and American tourists are like two of the basest forms of tourists that everyone in other countries will look down on it.
It's funny because it's funny because I got the basis of men's scripture because Esau, the joke is with Esau is that the average Edomite, like in England, the Goyim Edomites, and in America, they can only speak English.
Yeah.
You
And
got-
not even well.
Not even well.
Yeah.
You go to like people, I mentioned India. Indians can speak like multiple languages. Some of them can speak their Hindi,
Dialects.
dialects.
Yeah.
They can speak English. You get what I'm saying?
The thing is,
Go
it's
to like
like even if some of them have strong accents, like their grammar is probably better.
It's
than-
better. It's
Because
better.
it's like
Bro.
even Eastern Europeans as well. So a lot of them will speak. They might speak Russian. They might speak their local country's language as well, and then they'll speak English as well on the side. And then you're like, that.
Like,
you guys
bro,
speak
some-
Polish,
those
Russian, and English.
Those Nigerians that came to England back in the days, they were so well spoken. A lot of them, you know, like
Yeah.
because they were high level schooling.
What
Now-
happened is they're getting a shit on.
But now I heard that. See what I was being told, they dumbed down the schools that over there as well. Like
Oh, okay.
they're like dumbing down the schools,
Yeah.
so the quality of people that's coming ain't the same.
The thing is,
Those people are intellectuals. A lot of them. The Jakes, And even a lot of them old school West Indians, they were like intellectuals.
But I know
That's the thing.
smart.
It's
They could
part of
fuck-
it was because they were linked in with the
Empire.
British Empire.
Yeah.
Then it was like
Empire.
they would have more channels to those things.
That's it.
There was a lot of it. There'll be businesses. There'll be things. The thing is,
Well,
with the Empire,
yeah.
they established things over in those lands as well. Where it's
Of
like,
course.
So there's
But then it's like they've done a controlled demolition.
this guy's a maniac. Bro,
Like,
it's just straight
yeah,
red,
yeah.
bro. Like, what are you
There was
doing?
no one there, so you know. But you know, it's controlled demolition. I wouldn't do that, but I'm just saying.
That's what I was like, I was like, bro.
Because pets, they get licensed to do things other
Oh, yeah,
people
all
can't do.
sorts.
Yeah. But I'm saying like they
Oh, yeah.
dumbed it down by design, because now like a lot of like that's why I realize like this is something we've been saying over time. Like, I realize more and more. I think it's because of the new crop of like Jake that coming from different lands. It's like there's some bush people, like
bro.
bush freshies.
My God,
And you're like, wow, so like I didn't know that that's the type of man you're talking about.
Right.
Because I don't come from a family like that.
Yeah, because
So you
remember,
just
after,
understand.
remember before, even see before because Esau's crashing the society with the New World Order.
Yeah.
They're bringing in these like they're just allowing, like you said, people
The
that can't
basis
string sentences
Yeah,
together.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Whereas when we came, it was more like families seeking opportunity and whatnot will come into these countries.
And
It wasn't as
speaking
a
the
floodgate,
language, yeah.
and they spoke the like you learned.
They got
You learned it
education
quick. You learned it
degrees,
quick.
yeah.
There wasn't
Yeah.
there was none of this back then. You learned
Yeah.
it quick. Because even back then there was even less benefits and shit like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So, but now Esau's definitely crashing it because even I've seen some. I encounter some dudes at work. They can't string a sentence. Upstairs, down. Which one? I'm like, yeah,
And then
upstairs.
it's like,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah,
they're
yeah.
employed, they've got a bank account,
Yeah.
they've got credit card, like, and you realize in the system, how the fuck did you not, bro?
And remember, even when these motherfuckers, some of them come to Dover, let's say from Dover and that, and you know who's making money? It's this one English brother capitalized on the influx by like running all the hotels in the region. It's one English brother.
Got a contract,
Got
yeah.
a contract.
I
You
see
see
it
it?
with 3 companies, and he was one of the main ones.
He's
that
getting
made millions.
peas, bro.
Yeah.
He's getting.
But that was by design. They
By
did it
design.
By design.
By
Controlled
design.
demolition.
Yep. So-
Again, like before you read,
Sorry, bro.
there's some people I don't know how they got in this
I
country.
even bro, even
I don't know.
Even me, I'm like,
I'm being
even me,
real.
I'm like, speak English. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what I thought, that's what I'm saying. Bro, I was like, bro, I was like, bro, some of them, I'm like, bro, it's like, I might vote for reform. You know, I'm
Yeah.
not joking.
Bro, even me, I'm like,
It was
speak
bro,
English.
it's like, yo, get him out. Because what the fuck's going on, bro?
Some people, like the guy I saw, like some of them, the way they are, like they're fresh. Like just landed yesterday, and I'm thinking like, no wonder they talk about you like this.
I think
like,
that's,
get it
I
now.
think that's actually Michael's nephew. You know that playing them. You know that?
Oh, that's what I heard.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah,
actually
it
this
is,
one.
it is.
Yeah,
It's the one that
it's really his nephew.
Jermaine slept with the youngest brother's wife.
Okay, so that's their
Child,
son. Yeah. So I got
Weirdo
something.
shit.
This is
Let's close out on it.
that
after this.
Daniel 4:17. This matters by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men.
Yeah, the basis of men has basically been established. And that's why, that's the thing, is as far as the reason why in Israel, when Solomon took over, silver was a stone, is because everyone was so fucking flush amongst the nation of Israel that everyone was pussy. They didn't even know pussy class silver. Man was like, I'm paying a big fat rock of gold is going in your hand, bro. Because we don't deal with silver out here. Silver's for the dogs. Silver was getting licked up by the dogs because everyone got brought up to that level. Amongst Esau's rule, these guys are fucking whacked out lunatics. These guys deal with the 1% doctrine. These men are up where it's the 1%, then the 1%'s got the 1% of the 1%. And then they're just on a super duper level where
Everyone's saying,
you
shit.
deal with like the entire wealth of like the bottom 60% or something, and they say it's like the top 10% is equivalent to like the bottom 60% or whatever.
Well,
Then
that's
you
that's
just
James,
like-
man. You're holding all that for us anyway, man.
Yeah.
That 1% wealth. These
Yeah.
motherfuckers got gold vaults, bro, up to these ceilings, filled with
Yeah.
fucking gold. The Bank of England holds a lot of gold. It
Yeah.
holds like a lot of the world's gold.
And that's the thing, all them goods, the actual like goods and wealth, it's like all these things are accumulated towards the top elite. And then, but then the stupidity of that is very short-sighted. It's very short-term. Because the thing is what happens over time is the bigger the disparity gets, the more rebellion builds up.
But that's what they want. They want it where everyone's gonna basically, there's gonna be blood running in the streets.
That's it.
That's the best time to buy. And that'll be the big buyout for the new world order.
And it's funny as well, and it shows us all again is what the poly market shit with this whole Iran situation.
Yeah.
They're saying like every time there's a flip flop from Trump, there's like they said there was a new account that came in and made like 180 million. And
That's
you're like,
quite
what?
crazy.
You're thinking like, what the fuck? Like, bro, the account was made like 3-4 days ago. Then they just happened to bet on something.
But
and
that's,
they made
that's
hundreds
what
of millions.
the modern day politician is basically, when you get in office, it's a racket.
It's a racket.
You get to basically make as much money as you want.
Basically, that's you ain't getting in there to change the world.
No, it's a money printing machine.
You
It
might as well,
goes in.
basically, if you when they go, that's why then politicians when they finally get seats, they go all in.
Yeah.
They go all in.
Yeah.
Before the end of their term, they're multi-millionaires,
Well,
billionaires.
Trump even said that we're not honoring the Israel lobby. What does that mean? He's saying that Israel are paying us money
And we're doing whatever we want.
to basically put us in office and give us influence,
Yeah.
and we have to now do what
they say.
That tells you what the politicians are all about.
Because when you fucking hell, what's that? When you see their actions, look at their actions, bro. Like what they done. Man came in, like bro, he was and it's funny as well because one of the first things he did for his first term was to completely abolish the nuclear deal with Iran that Obama had set up, and then put fresh sanctions on Iran from back then.
Yeah.
And then afterwards he acknowledged Jerusalem as the where they put the embassy as a capital of Israel. So basically, the first thing he did was give honors onto them.
Yeah.
And that was the first term. It was like on the second term, now you've seen him unload the whole military. But
Let's go, Rob.
yeah, I was gonna say. But yeah, we'll leave it there. You know, Lord willing, next week, man. Shalom.
Shalom, man. Shalom.